Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, ever merciful. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you, dear viewers. Welcome to tonight's lecture organized by the UK Talim Department. As per our tradition, we will start the program with the recitation of the Holy Quran. Can I request Waqara MD Sahib to deliver the tilawat, please? We have Mubarak Bhatti Sahib has arrived, so I can, if Mubarak Bhatti Sahib, if you can deliver the tilawat and translation, please. Jazakallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهودا ومن الليل فتهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا. This is from chapter Surah Bani Israel, chapter 17, verses 79 to 80. And the translation of the verses is as follows. I seek refuge with Allah from the accursed Satan. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful. Observe prayer from the declining and paling of the sun till the darkness of the night, and recite the Qur'an at dawn. Verily, the recitation of the Qur'an at dawn is specially acceptable to Allah. And during a part of the night, wake up for its recitation, a supererogatory service for thee. It may be that thy Lord will raise thee to an exalted station. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah for this. Tonight we have the pleasure of being joined by Naseem Ahmad Bajwa Sahib. He is serving as the regional missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in the Baitul Futuh region. As always, there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions. These will be put to our guest on your behalf in the last 15 minutes. Please type your questions into the live chat and kindly ensure they are relevant to tonight's topic. It gives me a great pleasure to hand over to Naseem Bajwa Sahib to deliver the lecture on the importance of the Holy Quran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'du fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Qur'an hudan lin-nasi wa bayyinatin min al-huda wal-furqan. First of all, we thank Allah the Almighty that once again He has given us the opportunity to attain the blessing of the month of Ramadan. And one of the blessing of the month of Ramadan is mentioned in this verse, which I have just partly I've read that. And in that Allah the Almighty says that this is the month, Shahru Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is that month, Allazi unzila fihi al-Quran, in which the Holy Quran was revealed. And this Quran is Hudal Nas, guidance for all mankind. Wa Bayyinatun min al-Huda, and there are proofs of guidance, and Wal Furqan, and discrimination, which means that it discriminates between falsehood and truth. Now, this verse does not mean that the whole Quran was revealed in 1 month. It means that Holy Quran began to be revealed in the month of Ramadan, and according to Hazrat Mustafa Maud in his Tafsir Kabir, he has mentioned that there was 24th of Ramadan. The other thing is that in the last Ramadan, in the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, the whole Quran was revealed or rehearsed twice by Jibreel al-Islam to Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa ﷺ. So in that way, we can say that the whole Quran was also revealed in the Holy Quran. But in fact, it was revealed in piecemeal, starting from year 610 up to the demise of the Holy Prophet ﷺ in 632. That is 22 years. The Holy Prophet ﷺ was 40 years of age when the Holy Quran began to be revealed, and he was in the cave of Hira. And the first revelation was Iqra, read, recite, and announce to the people. Now, here it is also said that this Holy Quran is Hudal Nas. It's a guidance for all mankind. This is a statement which is in fact unique, because all the books which were sent before, or the prophets who were sent before the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, none of them ever claimed that his teaching is for the whole world. So much so that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, himself said, I have not come but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And he also said that there are many things which I want to tell you, but you cannot bear them now. And the Holy Spirit, or Spirit of truth, who will come after me, he will tell you the whole truth. So that means that he is told that the Prophet who will come after him, he will bring the complete teaching. And that is Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, the Holy Quran is not only admired by the Muslims, but even the non-Muslims have appreciated the beauties of the Holy Quran and the greatness of the Holy Quran. I'll just present few quotations of some non-Muslims. For example, Laura Weathery, in her book on Islam, on page 57, she says that on the whole, we find in it, in the Holy Quran, that means, we find in it a collection of wisdom which can be adopted by the most intelligent of men, the greatest of philosophers, and the most skillful of politicians. But there is another proof of the divinity of the Quran, that it is the fact that it has been preserved intact through the ages, since the time of its revelation till the present day. And then she says, read and reread by the Muslims, Muslim world, this book does not arouse in the faithful any weariness. It rather, through repetition, is more loved every day. Then another writer, his name is John William Draper, in his book A History of the Intellectual Development of Europe, Volume 1, which was published in 1875 from London, on page 343 and 44, he writes that the Quran abounds in excellent moral suggestions and precepts. Its composition is so fragmentary that we cannot turn to a single page without finding maxims of which all men must approve. This fragmentary construction yields texts and mottos and rules complete in themselves and suitable for common men in any of the incidents of life. Then another writer, Charles Francis Potter, in his book The Faiths Men Live By, which was published from UK in 1955, he writes that, referring to the Holy Quran, he said that it is more read than any other book in the world. The Christian Bible may be a world bestseller, but nearly 250 million followers of the Prophet Muhammad read or recite long sections of Al-Quran 5 times a day, every day of their lives, from the time they can talk. So this is the greatness of the Holy Quran, which is accepted by even the non-Muslims. Now, as far as the recitation of the Holy Quran is concerned, the verses which were recited in the beginning of this meeting, in that Allah the Almighty has said, "Aqimis salata liduluki shamsi ila ghasaqil layli wa Qur'an al-Fajr." That observe prayer from the declining of the sun onto the darkness of night, and especially read the Holy Quran at dawn, at Fajr time. So it is said that that is specially accepted by Allah. Kana mashhuda. Inna Quran al-Fajr kana mashhuda. The holy reading of the Holy Quran at the time of dawn is very, very loved by God Almighty. And then it is also said that during the night also you should get up and read the Holy Quran. That is offered tahajjud prayer. And it is said that if you do that, then you will be able to attain that high status of righteousness which Allah Ta'ala already has destined for you. Everybody, is created with certain, destiny that he should reach to that state, and Allah Ta'ala has provided him the means for that. And that state is called Muqam-e Mahmud, or praiseworthy station. Of course, the Muqam-e Mahmud of the Holy Prophet ﷺ was the highest, no doubt about it. But everyone has to reach his own Muqam-e Mahmud, or praiseworthy station. And it is said that you cannot attain that unless you observe all the 5 daily prayers and also recite the Holy Quran at dawn with full understanding, of course, and acting upon it as well. And through the Tahajjud prayer, getting up at night for prayer, then you will be able to obtain that high status for which Allah has created you. And Allah Ta'ala has provided you the means for that. Now, as far as the Holy Prophet ﷺ is concerned, there is a very well-known saying of the Holy Prophet ﷺ in which he said, "Khairukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allamahu," that the best among you is he who learns the Holy Quran and teaches it to others. And then he also said that if you recite one word of the Holy Quran, Allah will count it as if you have done 10 good deeds. So the hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ is like this, and this is from the book of Tirmidhi, that Hazrat Ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala anhu relates that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that when a person recites one letter from the book of Allah, that is one good deed equal to 10 good deeds, the like of it. And he said, I do not say that Alif, Lam, Mim is one letter, but A is a letter, L is a letter, and M is a letter. That means if you just read Alif, Lam, Mim, you will have the reward of 30 good deeds. So this is how Allah the Almighty is always ready to, grant us His favors and His blessings. Now, when we see the writings of Hazrat Masih Maud Islam, the founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, there are many beautiful writings of Hazrat Masih Maud Islam, but I will mention just one small quotation which is well known in Ahmadiyya community, and that is, "Jo log Quran ko izzat denge, asman par izzat payenge." Those who will give honor to the Holy Quran in this world, they will be honored in heaven. And I would like to mention one incident that once a Sahabi or companion of the Prophet Messiah, peace be upon him, asked him that, can you please tell me how can I become the friend of Allah, Waliullah, as the Holy Quran says, Allahu waliyulladhina amanu. Allah is the friend of those who believe. So he said that, please tell me how can I become a friend of Allah? Very important question for all of us. And the person who is answering is the promised Messiah, Imam Mahdi, who has come according to the prophecy of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give guidance to the people. Now he said to him, do 4 things. Number 1, recite the Holy Quran with translation and deliberation every day, even if you read only 1 verse. And secondly, he said, offer tahajjud prayer daily, even if you offer only 2 rakats, and pray in that. And thirdly, he said, keep me reminding through letters that I should pray for you. That is, that whoever is the Imam of the time, you should request him to pray for you. And fourthly, he gave his own book to him and said, read my books. So that Sahabi of the Prophet Messiah says that I acted upon these 4 things. And by the grace of Allah, I was able to receive revelations. I was able to receive the visions and true dreams, which strengthened my belief. And I came to this conclusion that really God exists and he is with those people who love him. Now, when we find out from the writings of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal, the first Khalifa, Hazrat Maulana Hakim Maulana Nuruddin Sahib, so we find that once he said in his das, he was regularly giving dars of the Holy Quran. In I think about 2.5 years, he used to complete the full Quran, and then he again started. Very regularly he was delivering dars. Now, once he said that a person, a Muslim, should read Holy Quran at least 5 times. At least 5 times. With meaning and translation, of course. The first thing he said that he should read himself, alone, to understand it. Then when he is married, he should read it with his wife. Then after marriage, when he got the children, and the children are able to, understand, then he should read 3rd time with his children. And then he said 4th time he should read with any other Muslim. He was especially addressing the Ahmadis at that time. He said you should read the Holy Quran with other Muslims because they also don't know the true meaning of the Holy Quran. This is why you have to tell them. And fifthly, he said, then after reading it with the Muslims, you should also read with the non-Muslims as well, because this Holy Quran is for everyone. And in fact, this is what is mentioned in this verse which I had cited in the beginning, Huddal lin-nase. This is for the whole mankind. So how they will know if we will not present the copies of the Holy Quran to them, or any book which presents the beauties of the Holy Quran? In this regard, I would like to say that the book of the Prophet Messiah, Philosophy of the Teaching of Islam, is a very good gift to introduce the Holy Quran, because there are about 200 verses of the Holy Quran which are explained in a very logical manner, in a systematic manner, that how a person can develop himself spiritually and morally. So first give this book, and then you can give the whole Quran. And I tell you that there are many non-Muslims, many English people, who read this book and they accepted Islam. I have many, incident of that, but I think the time is not enough that I should go into those details. But many of you know, even Maulana Bashir Ahmad Orchard Sahib, who was the first English missionary, he has also admired very much about it. And he said that I've read this book so many times. And every time when I read, he said that I find that I missed so and so point. And when as Masih Sam wrote it, he said that when this book will spread in the Western countries, the people will accept Islam. And this is the prophecy which was made by him, and we see its fulfillment with our own eyes. But every one of us should do this duty. Now, when we see the writings of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II, Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad Sahib, Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, he once he wrote in his Tafsir-e-Kabir volume 2 on page 195, explaining the verse of the Holy Quran where Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam prayed to Allah the Almighty about the advent of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from his progeny, and that is the prayer in chapter 2 verse 130. And referring to that, Hazrat Muslim Maud says, I would like to read the original words and then I'll give the gist in English. He said that यही चार मकासद खिलाफत इस्लामी के फ़राइज़ से भी ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, यानी दलाइल सिखाना. He's saying that there are four objectives of the coming of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are mentioned in this prayer of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. One is Yatlu alayhim ayatika, second Yuallimuhul kitaba, third wal hikmah, and fourth Yuzakkihim, which means first to recite the signs of Allah, number two to teach the book, that is Holy Quran, and thirdly to teach the wisdom of the book of the commandments of the Holy Quran, and fourthly to purify them. So referring to this, he says यही चार मकासद खिलाफत इस्लामी के फ़राइज़ से भी ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, यानी दलाइल सिखाना, खुदा की बातें लोगों को बताना, शरीयत सिखाना, ईमान ताज़ा करने के लिए कुरान करीम के अहकाम और उनकी हिकमतें बताना, जिस्मानी व कल्बी तहारत पैदा करने की कोशिश करना, और फरमाया these are the very important words. He says, and यही मुबल्लिगों, कारकुनों, प्रेसिडेंटों, अमीरों और सेक्रेटरियों का काम है. जब तक इन चारों बातों को मद्देनजर न रखा जाए, उस वक्त सिलसिला की गर्ज व गायत पूरी नहीं हो सकती. फरमाया इब्तिदाए खिलाफत में मैंने मनसब खिलाफत में इन बातों को तफसील से बयान कर दिया था, ताकि लोग इस तरफ तवज्जो करें और उन्हें बार बार मुझसे ये पूछने की जरूरत ना रहे कि हमें भी कोई काम बताया जाए, मगर बहुत कम लोग इस तरफ तवज्जो करते हैं. फरमाया बस जो दोस्त सिलसिला की खिदमत का शौक रखते हैं, उन्हें चाहिए कि वो इस किताब को, यानी मनसब खिलाफत, द बुक ऑफ द खलीफतुल मसीह सेकंड, इसे वो इस किताब को पढ़ लें और खुद ही देख लें कि उनके क्या फ़राइज़ हैं. उनकी सबसे बड़ी खिदमत यही है कि वो इन चारों कामों को पूरा करें. यही वो काम है जिनके लिए इस्लाम, नबूवत, खिलाफत और इमामत कायम करता है. यही वो काम है जिनके लिए इस्लाम, नबूवत, खिलाफत और इमामत कायम करता है. बस नबी का भी और फिर उसके बाद खुलाफा और उनके ताबईन का भी यही काम होता है. और जो शख्स इन कामों को पूरा करने की कोशिश करता है, वो अपने आप को खुदा ताला के अंसार में शामिल कर लेता है. So he said these are the duties of the Prophet, the Khalifa and the Imam, and everyone who follows them, that they should do these four things, and if they do that, Huzur said that he will be counted from among the helpers of Allah the Almighty. Now, as far as Hazrat Khalifatul Masih III is concerned, Hazrat Mirza Nasir Ahmad Sahib, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, in fact, throughout his Khilafat, almost in every speech, he was telling the importance of the Holy Quran. In the very beginning of his Khilafat, he said that every Ahmadi should memorize first 17 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah with translation and commentary, and then he should apply it on his own conduct and see whether he has the qualities of the righteous people, and secondly, that he is away from the bad qualities of the disbelievers and the hypocrites which are mentioned in these verses. So with this intention, he said that everybody should learn it. So, in those days, all men, women, children were doing this work. And Huzur also said that there should be no Ahmadi, male or female or child, old or young, who cannot recite the Holy Quran in Arabic, and then he is not learning the translation of the Holy Quran, or he is not trying to learn the commentary of the Holy Quran according to his capacities. And then he also started the Waqf-e-Arzi scheme for this purpose, that every Ahmadi should give at least 2 weeks for teaching the Holy Quran to others and also increasing his own knowledge about the Holy Quran every year. And now our present Huzur has Khalifatul Masih al-Khami Sayyidullah Ta'ala bin Aziz has also said that every Ahmadi should give 1 week or 2 weeks, or if we can't give 1 or 2 weeks, at least a weekend he should give and join this this scheme. So I would like to remind everyone, it's a very wonderful scheme. Those people who attend it and join this and spend their work, they know how much spiritual benefit they gained. And the best thing is that they are teaching the Holy Quran to the people, and the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that these are the best people. خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. Now, as far as Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi Rahmatullah Alayh is concerned, he was very fond of tabligh and always reminding us. He many times he reminded that the Holy Quran says, "Wajahidhum bihi jihadan kabira." That jihad kabir, or big jihad, is that we should spread the teaching of the Holy Quran. So this is why, first of all, he said you should learn the Holy Quran yourself and then do tabligh with the help of the Holy Quran. Present the words of the Holy Quran to people. In the words of the Holy Quran, you should preach to people, not in your own words only. And I remember that before his Khilafat, when he was president of Khudam al-Ahmadiyya, I also used to work as member of Majlis Amla for Khudam al-Ahmadiyya district Sargoda. So in those days, he instructed us that you visit all the Jamaats, and I myself did this work, and teach every Khadim 3 verses of the Holy Quran, so that he is able to do tabligh. At least he can start tabligh. So I think that is very much relevant even today for every one of us. And the 3 verses he said, number 1, وَمَا مُحَمَّدُ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ, in which, that is chapter 3, verse 145, which means that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is a messenger of Allah. All messengers before him have passed away. That means that Isa Alayhi Salam has also passed away. So anybody who will say Jesus Christ is still alive in the heaven, or no, he will be going against this verse of the Holy Quran. Secondly, he said the second verse which we should teach people and ask them to memorize with translation and also with some explanation that how they should present it to people. So the second verse was, وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِم مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. This is chapter 4, verse 70, which means that those who obey Allah and this messenger, Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they will be from among either prophets or Siddiq or Shaheed or Saleh. So this verse says that a follower of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam can be a prophet as well as he can be a Siddiq, Shaheed or Saleh. But unfortunately, many Muslims, because of their ignorance from the Holy Quran, they think that a follower of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam cannot be a prophet under the law of the Holy Quran. Not, we understand that here in this verse, it is not said that he will bring any new law or he will change anything from the Islam. No, not at all. But such prophet who only comes for the preaching of Islam and to remove the misunderstanding of the people, such prophets will continue to come whenever Allah Ta'ala so decides. And Hazrat Masih Maud, the promised Messiah, has made the claim that he is that kind of prophet according to the prophecy of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because he said that Imam Mahdi, who will be promised Messiah, he will also be a prophet. This is written in the book of Muslim. 4 times Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that in the hadith of Muslim, that forthcoming Isa, or the Messiah, he will be a prophet of Allah as well. Nabiullah is the word used there. The third verse which Huzur said that everyone should learn and then use it for tabligh, that was وَلَوْ تَقَبَّلَ عَلَيْنَا بَعْضَ الْأَقَاوِيلِ أَخَذْنَا مِنْهُ فِي الْجَمِيعِ ثُمَّ لَقَطَعْنَا مِنْهُ الْوَتِينَ. This is chapter 69, verse 45 to 48, which says that if a person will make false claim of revelation, he will die an unnatural death, not a natural death. Now, the explanation of this verse is that if Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani Islam was not true in his claim that he was receiving revelation from Allah the Almighty, why he was not killed, why he died a natural death. So, and now by the grace of Allah, his Jamaat is spreading in the world. So much so that even the non-Muslim sources, Google, they will say the fastest growing community is Ahmadiyya Muslim community. So this is the verse which we should present to the people, and these three verses, at least it will enable us to start preaching. So this is for the Muslims. Then of course, if when you will have some experience, in fact, you can use the same verses for preaching to anyone, not even Muslim, not only Muslim, but even the non-Muslim as well. But this is not the time that I should go into that detail. But in fact, this law taqawwala alayna, this is a challenge to the whole world. Show us any person in the world. The Prophet Messiah said that give me the name of any person, I'll give you 200 rupees for every name. You know, in those days, 200 rupees was a very big amount when he said that. He said that give me any one name where somebody made false claim of revelation and then he didn't die an unnatural death and he was not killed. On the other hand, there are many people we know, even in our own life, we have seen that. And Musalma Kazab is a very famous person which is known to all Muslims. He was also killed. So, Hazrat Masih Islam was not only saved by Allah the Almighty, despite the fact there are so many opposition and people, there are fatwas against him that kill him and you will go to paradise straight away. And as Masih Islam went to so many places in India, it's not that he was only hiding somewhere. He delivered lecture in Lahore, Ludhiana, and so many other places, Sialkot, and all those lectures are published as well. Now, I come to the sayings of President Huzur, Hazrat Iftul Masih al-Khamis, Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Aziz. By the grace of Allah, Huzur Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Aziz is also very much particular about the recitation of the Holy Quran every day. In fact, once he said that no Ahmadi should leave home. No Ahmadi should leave home in the morning until he has read a portion of the Holy Quran with translation and understanding. So this is a now permanent instruction from Hazrat Iftul Masih, and it is for our own benefit. If we want to have a relationship with God Almighty, then how can we, forget the Holy Quran? Hazrat Masih Islam says, Azizo, suno ke be Quran, haq ko milta nahi kabhi insan. That, oh my beloved ones, nobody can reach Allah the Almighty without reading the Holy Quran and following it. And Hazur, President Hazur Hazrat Masih al-Khamis, Sayyidullah Ta'ala bin Aziz, also, in his virtual mulaqat, he has been emphasizing this. In one of the meeting, there were some Indonesian students probably. So one of the students asked Hazur that you have given the target of 100,000 bats to the Indonesian Jamaat for the next few years. So please tell us that what should we do about it? How can we go about it and get this target achieved? So Huzur very simply and very straightforward, please mentioned. He said it's very simple. Do 4 things. One is, first you should be regular in your 5 daily prayers. Offer the 5 daily prayers in Jamaat. He said mention namaz ba Jamaat, not just in your own home only. And of course, it also means that you should know the meaning of the namaz as well, not that only Arabic. And then, in fact, there are 7 stages of the prayer, and that include the tahajjud prayer as well. And one should offer the prayer in such a way that he is watching Allah the Almighty, and he should cry before Allah the Almighty. So one who cries before Allah the Almighty, his prayers are accepted. So that's the first thing Huzur said. The second Huzur said, recite the Holy Quran daily. with translation and understanding. Tilawat-e-Qur'an. And the third thing, Huzur said that strengthen your relationship with the Khilafat. And then, of course, means that listen to khutbah of Huzur Ta'ala regularly and act upon it and write to him for seeking his prayer, and also listen to his other discourses. So, and pray, get his prayer and also pray for him as well. That is how you can establish your relationship with Khilafat. And then whenever the opportunity is there, you should also try to meet Huzur Fidullah Ta'ala personally as well. And the fourth thing Huzur said, that you should recite Durood Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Recite this Durood as many times as possible with understanding. And as Masih Islam has said, that when you recite the Durood, in fact, you should recite with this understanding that how many favors of Allah, favors of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam are upon us. He has taught us this religion of Islam, and then we are able to live our life in such a way as we are living. And we are able to establish our relationship with Allah the Almighty. So with this understanding, you should recite this rule, and also you should also make sure that you are one of his followers, true followers. Because when we are saying Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin, which means that to Allah bless us Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his true followers. Ali Muhammad means all true followers. So unless we become his true followers, we cannot have the blessing of this root. So these were the four things mentioned by Huzur Ta'ala bin Asadi. Now, by the grace of Allah, Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya is doing a lot of things for the propagation of the teaching of Islam. And so far, the Holy Quran is translated by the Ahmadiyya Jamaat in 73 languages, and which is a unique service which Ahmadiyya community has rendered. There is no other community in the world, despite the fact that the other people have many resources, large number, and so many things, but they have not been able to do this kind of thing. But in fact, this was a prophecy of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that when the promised Messiah will come, in his time, this Islam will spread in the Western country. Tatla Shamsa min Maghribiha, and in another hadith, Tulu Shamsi min Maghribiha is one of the 10 signs of the last latter days. And at that time, it is said that the promised Messiah will come. So now, by the grace of Allah, Ahmadiyya Jamaat has made this translation available. Now it's our duty that we should spread these books, these translations of the Holy Quran in our area, wherever we are. And as I have just mentioned, that first, it's better to give the book Introduction to the Study of the Holy Quran. The Philosophy of the Teaching of Islam. Then Huzur recently has launched another very good program, and it is mentioned in our Huzur mentioned it in his Bajwa of 9th April, that he said that according to Al-Hakam, it says that in the Friday sermon today on 9th of April 2021, Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Allah Ta'ala bin Asadi announced the launch of a new Quran search engine created by the alislam.org team. The new Quran search engine can be found at www.holyquran.io. Huzur said, any surah, verse, letter, or topic can be searched through this new search engine in Arabic, English, or Urdu. The search results can be viewed in both Ahmadi and non-Ahmadi translations of the Holy Quran. With every verse, its commentary, topic, and related verses can be seen, and more features are to be added. And at the end, Huzur said that I pray that may Allah the Almighty enable this project to be a means of spreading the beautiful teachings of the Holy Quran across the world. And may the members of the Jamaat also fully benefit from these projects. May Allah enable us to do so. So Now, still we have 2-3 minutes. I'll just mention at the end one incident that there was a very famous poet in Arabia who used to write very beautiful poetry, and because of his great poetry, his work was hanged in the Khana Kaaba before the Holy Prophet started his ministry. And his name was Labid bin Rabia. There were in fact 7 such people, and one of them was Labid bin Rabia. So he was still alive at the time of Holy Prophet, and he did accept Islam as well. Now, once in the time of Hazrat Umar, when Hazrat Umar was Khalifa, he, through his governor, asked him that he should write his beautiful poetry for Hazrat Umar, and Hazrat Umar said that his poetry should be sent to him. Now, the governor wrote a letter to Hazrat Labid bin Rabia, and that please you also write, and I would like to send it to Hazrat Umar. In answer to that, Hazrat Labid bin Rabia, he wrote some verses of the Holy Quran. Now, the governor was very much upset, and he said that, please note, I told you that Hazrat Umar has said that write some of your own poetry, not the Holy Quran. Holy Quran already he has. He answered, he said, since I have become Muslim, I have abandoned to write any poetry. He said, Holy Quran is sufficient. There is no need of any other thing. And he said, I can't write anything else. This is what I think should be enough for you. So this was the impact of this Holy Quran on those people who themselves were great orators. They said that there is no book like this. So with these few words, now, as it was said that the last 15 minutes are for the question answer. So now you can please.
Jazakallah Bajwa Sahab for such a comprehensive lecture on the importance of the Holy Quran. The viewers have really put very positive comments. So I will now, with your permission, I've got a couple of questions which I would like to ask, if that's okay. So one of the question talks about there are many du'as in the Quran, and it is difficult to remember all. So what is the most common dua to remember and to be recited?
Yes, there are very many beautiful prayers, and in fact, I have collected all the prayers from the Holy Quran. They are available here, bookshop here in Battlefield. It's a pocket size as well. There are many Ahmadis who have told me that they always keep in their pocket. And there is one of original Amisa. He says that this is a very beautiful means of tabligh as well. He said that without going into such some controversial things, if you give this booklet to any non-Ahmadi, he will be able to appreciate the beauty of the Holy Quran, and also he will be able to know some of the beautiful prayers of the Holy Quran as well. Now, when you ask what is the best prayer, in fact, we should see what the Holy Prophet ﷺ said. He said, once, it so happened that somebody came to the mosque and he started praying in his own words. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said that this is not the way. What you should do, first of all, is say Surah Fatiha, then Durood Sharif, and then pray whatever you want. And about Surah Fatiha, it is also said that this is one of the name of Surah Fatiha is Shafia. Shafia means that it gives cure. And in fact, I myself have seen such miracles. I can't tell you at this time, but I tell you that by the grace of Allah, if you read this verse 7 times with full understanding, and the Durood Sharif as well, and then you pray for whatever you want to pray, you can see miracles. I have seen such people who were, in intensive care, and lot of pains, and doctors are trying their best to them to get rid of those pains. It was not possible, but through this prayer, by the grace of Allah, I saw myself, they were cured. So this Surah Fatiha is a great surah. But first of all, we should read the commentary of Surah Fatiha written by Hazrat Masih Maud Islam. Then you will know what it is. Unless you read it, you won't be able to understand its real import. And then, of course, for different purposes, there are different prayers. If you, I usually say that every Ahmadi should know the prayer, Rabbi Shrah li sadri, wa yassir li amri, wa halul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Because if we are sincere to have baths, and this is the duty given by every Khalifa to every Ahmadi, that you should try to get at least one bath in a year, new conversion, new convert. Now, how can we have it without the prayers? Of course, we should write to Huzur Allah Ta'ala as well. We should keep sadaqah and all the other 5 daily prayers, all other things which we should do. But in addition to that, this prayer was taught by Allah the Almighty, and this is mentioned in the Holy Quran, that this was taught to Hazrat Musa al-Islam, and he prayed and he was successful in his mission. And Allah liked this prayer so much that he has taught the Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as well. So Rabbi Shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa halul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Oh my Lord, open my heart. That means prepare my, grant me knowledge as well, and passion for tabligh. And then secondly, yassir li amri, make my task easy for me, because so that I can get some good contacts. Otherwise, if we don't have any contact, how can we do preaching? And thirdly, that when I speak to them, I am able to present the teaching of Islam in such a way that it really, it can be appreciated by the people. And fourthly, that Allah grant them wisdom and righteousness as well, so that they can appreciate the beauties of Islam. So such a beautiful and perfect prayer is that for tabligh. And then, of course, Holy Quran has mentioned with reference to the prayers of Ibadur Rahman, in Surah Al-Furqan, which is the 25th chapter of the Holy Quran. Toward the end, it is stated that the Ibadur Rahman are the true servant of the gracious God, are those people who pray to Allah, in Tahajjud particularly. Tahajjud is also mentioned there. And it is said that they pray in these words, and one of the prayer is, Rabbana hablana min azwajina wa zurriyatina qurrata ayunin waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Which means, oh my Rabbana, our Lord, hablana, grant us min azwajina, from our spouses, wa azwajina wa zurriyatina, and from our children, the delight of our eyes, and make us imam and model for the righteous people. So this is the prayer which is needed by everyone for his own righteousness, and for the righteousness of his wife and children, and so that they all become model for the righteous people, and they are able to produce some more righteous people as well. Because imam is the person who should have some followers as well. So it means that make us all such imams that we are able to have a lot of other converts as well, and we make them righteous as well. So these are few prayers. I can tell you some more other, but I think for the time being, that's enough.
Jazakallah. I've got a second question here. Is one of the articles of Islam is to believe in all holy books. What value should we give to reading scriptures other than the Holy Quran?
Yes, you see, this is very important. Some of us don't realize it, and we don't read those. But Holy Quran has referred to them, and in fact, in one place it is said that in certain things you will need to refer to the prophecies of the Bible. There are many prophecies of the Bible which prove the truthfulness of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So unless you read the Bible, how can you present those prophecies? For example, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 18, it is said that Allah Ta'ala said to his Musa alayhi salam, I will raise them up a prophet from among thy brethren like unto you. Which means that Allah Ta'ala said to his Musa alayhi salam that I will send a prophet who will be like you, means that he will be granted a book like you. Because among all the Israelite prophets, there's only one prophet, that has Musa alayhi salam, who was given the book, that is Torah. And as Musa alayhi salam was told that another prophet will come who will be like you, who he will also be given a book. So now we should ask the Christians, tell us who is that prophet? Apart from Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is none else. Some people will say that this is about Jesus Christ, but which book he brought? He never dictated any book. These Gospels, which were written many years after Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, he always said that I have not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. That I am follower of the Torah, and he always, followed Torah and taught Torah. Of course, he differed in the meaning with other, scholars of Jewish people, but he was always referring to the Old Testament. So there's only Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam who has brought a book after Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, and this is in accordance with this prophecy of the Bible. This is why we should read the Bible. Now, there's another prophecy in the New Testament as well, which Jesus himself made, which I have referred to that Jesus said that there are many things which I would like to tell you now, but you cannot bear them now. So after me, the Spirit of truth will come and he will tell you all truth. And this is in the book of John, chapter 10, verse chapter 16, verse 7. It's very easy to remember the reference of this, because in the Holy Quran also this is referred, and that is in Surah As-Saf, chapter 61, verse 7. And here in the Bible, the book of John, chapter, instead of 61, you just change it, it will be 16, just change the places. And the verse number is same, 7. So this is how we should read these prophecies and present to these people. And there are many people who have accepted Islam because of these prophecies. Hazrat Muslim Maud has collected all these prophecies in his book, The Introduction to the Study of the Holy Quran. So this is why once Huzur, President Huzur, he said in one of his class with children, he said that if somebody read 2 books, he can become a good Ta'iz Allah. One is Introduction to the Study of the Holy Quran, and the other is Invitation to Ahmadiyyat or Tawatul Amir in Urdu. Okay. Any other question?
Yes, I've got a couple of more. What ways can you suggest that the recitation of the Holy Quran can be completed during Ramadan? So what ways can you suggest on that?
You see, no doubt that we should try our best to read the whole Quran, but at the same time, it is very essential that we should understand it, and we should spend some time about it and try to apply on our own life that am I acting upon these things. I think then you will see how much time is required for that. And then similarly, when you offer Tahajjud prayer and read Surah Fatiha again and again and some other prayers, then you realize that in fact we have very little knowledge. So we should try to know the meaning of the Holy Quran. In this regard, I would like to read one quotation of Hazrat Muslim Maud to tell you how much important it is to know the translation. Once Muslim Maud addressed in one ijtima, and he said, मुझे हजरत मसीह मौद अलैहिस्सलाम का यही इरशाद था कि तुम तर्जमा कुरान करीम और बुखारी यानी हदीस की किताब और कुछ तिब पढ़ लो। लेकिन आगे हुजूर फरमाते हैं, लेकिन मैं तुम्हारे लिए, यानी हजरत मसीह मौद से, लेकिन मैं तुम्हारे लिए इसका भी खुलासा बयान कर देता हूँ कि तुम कुरान का तर्जमा पढ़ लो, बुखारी और दूसरी किताबें तुम्हें खुद ब खुद आ जाएंगी। और देन ही सेज, अगर कोई शख्स कुरान का तर्जमा नहीं पढ़ता तो मैं तो ये समझ ही नहीं सकता कि वो अपने आप को मुसलमान कैसे करार देता है। कुरान करीम एक खत है जो खुदा ताला ने अपने बंदों को लिखा है, लेकिन वो कैसा मुसलमान है जो उसे पढ़ता नहीं बल्कि जेब में डाले फिरता है? क्या तुम में से कोई शख्स ऐसा है कि उसे माँ बाप, बहन भाई, बीवी, बच्चों या दूसरे अजीजों का खत आए और वो उसे जेब में डाल दे और पढ़े नहीं? So he says that as Naseem Islam said to me, as Muslim Maud is saying that when I was young, uh, I was told by Naseem Islam that read the translation of the Holy Quran and Bukhari Hadith book and some books of medicine with Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani Awal as Maulana Hakim Nuruddin Sahib. Read these three things from him. Then Nazur said that now I tell you, addressing the members who were listening to him at that time, he said, now I tell you that you only read the translation of the Holy Quran, and the rest of the thing, Bukhari, the other thing, you will learn, inshallah ta'ala, automatically, because there will be few things mentioned in Holy Quran, and there you will need the reference of the Hadith, so you will be able to learn these things by this way. And then he says that I cannot understand how that person can call himself Muslim if he doesn't know the Holy Quran. And then he says that, you see, this Quran is a letter from God Almighty. And is it possible that you have a letter of one of your very dear one, like your parents, or brothers, sisters, wife, children, and you don't read that letter, and you don't know what is in that? He said that it's impossible. So he said that you must learn the translation of the Holy Quran, and then he has also told the method. He says, बाज आयात तो बहुत छोटी छोटी होती हैं, अगर उन्हें दूसरी छोटी आयात के साथ मिलाकर बड़ी आयात के बराबर समझ लिया जाए और 2.5-3 सत्रों का भी रोजाना अंदाजा रखा जाए तो बड़ी आसानी के साथ तुम 3 साल के अंदर अंदर पूरे कुरान करीम का तर्जमा सीख सकते हो। एंड देन इसे ये स्कीम बच्चों में भी शुरू करनी चाहिए, और अगर लजना इमाइला भी इस स्कीम को अपना ले तो फिर माएँ अपने बच्चों को कुरान करीम का तर्जमा पढ़ा सकती हैं। आगे फरमाते हैं कि बेशक मखलूक की खिदमत करो, लेकिन अगर तुम्हें कुरान करीम का तर्जमा नहीं आता तो तुम ये काम पूरी तरह नहीं कर सकते। He said, okay, this is very good that you should do the service to mankind as Khuddam al do or other organization do. He said, but if you don't know the translation of the Holy Quran, you can't do this work properly. And he has also said that if you try to learn the translation of the Holy Quran of 3 lines only daily, in 3 years, inshallah ta'ala, you will be able to learn the translation of the whole Quran. And he said, I asked the parents, particularly the Lajna member, the mothers, that they should learn it and then teach to their own children. And by this way, they will be able, the whole Jamaat will be able to know the translation of the Holy Quran.
Jazakallah. Once again, Bajwa Sahib, Jazakallah for such a comprehensive lecture and answering all those questions in depth. Thank you, viewers, for watching our online lecture. Please don't forget for our next week's lectures. On Monday, there's a Q&A special with Zahir Ahmad Khan Sahib, Murrabi-e-Silsila, on the 26th of April. And on Tuesday, the English lectures are Fasting, Islamic Guidance and Personal Experiences by Bilal Atkinson Sahib on Tuesday, 27th of April, and both are on 6:30 p.m. Can I request our respected Secretary Talim Nadimur Rahman Sahib for final comments, please?
Jazakallah Shakir Saab and Waqar Ahmadi Saab, and most importantly, Murrabi Saab, for always coming and enlightening us with his wisdom. If I could humbly request Murrabi Saab, if you could lead us in silent prayer so we can complete and finalize the program for today.
Jazakumullah Sajjad. Now please join me in the silent prayer. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. Maybe it is beneficial for people that from Monday to Thursday, from quarter to 11 to quarter to 12, I teach the Holy Quran with translation and commentary by Zoom with the permission of Fazl Sharif Allah Ta'ala bil Aziz, and already more than 600 people from 29 countries, they participate in it. So anybody who wants to have the link, they can contact me. Jazakumullah. Asl Jazak.
Jazakallah. So if you want to learn more about the Quran, Murrabi Sahib is holding classes. I would also like to let viewers know I'm pasting a link into the chat now. Islamabad region have got a dars going on with Imam Sahib. So after this lecture, please feel free to click on that link and view the lecture going on at the moment for Islamabad region. Jazakallah everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah.